Host of questions to ask our guests. We have Varun Lohchab, who's the head institutional research at HDFC Securities, who's joining in now. Varun, hi, welcome to the show. Well, it's turning out to be a choppy session, but let's start with that discussion on STT. And what do you think is going to be the impact on companies such as, say, Angel One, Grow? Do you think it's going to have a significant impact in terms of volumes for them and your overall sense?
Yeah, hi, good afternoon. That was clearly a dampener from a sentiment perspective, the STT rate hike, because I think most of the market participants were not expecting it. But at the same time, having analyzed the impact, we don't think, the exchanges or, even the broking companies will have a significant negative impact. If you see in the past, when STT increases happened, frankly, that did not dampen the trading activity to that extent. I think it's the other factors, your outlook on the market and, the overall mood of the market, which impacts the trading volumes far more than, STT per se. So we don't see a very significant impact. And especially in case of BSC, which is a company under our coverage, they don't have much exposure on futures where the increase has been sharper, so they won't be impacted much. And similarly, Angel One also, from our coverage perspective, we don't see a significant material impact because of this STT hike, on their trading volumes.
Okay, so your outlook overall for maybe all these capital market names continues to be positive going forward as well, short term or medium term?
Yeah, so we have been quite positive on this space. Both BSC and MCX have been our topics for quite some time. MCX, we continue to run as our topic across our model portfolio as well. And we are very comfortable holding some of these names from a medium-term perspective.
Varun, the other change that has come by is in the buyback taxation. And since the time from 2024, it was changed as being taxed like a dividend income. The companies were not going ahead and putting out so many buyback offers, right? Do you think now that trend could come back? And the higher tax rates that's come from promoters, what do you make of this? And IT space is one which sees the most amount of buybacks. How do you read this change?
I think overall it's a very welcome change, a very positive move, to kind of tax them on the lines of capital gains instead of more so I think in with markets in a correction phase over last 12 to 18 months, hopefully more companies will be starting to do buybacks if the valuations start getting attractive and the froth is coming out. So from a timing perspective also we believe it's timed well because hopefully we'll see more buybacks in the next 12-18 months than what we saw during 2023 or 2024 sort of a time period. So a very good move and a very welcome and positive move for the companies.
Well, it seems as though the froth is definitely coming off for silver and gold at this point in time, Varun. I'm sure a lot of investors are probably asking about what they should do in terms of their holdings when it comes to precious metals separately, or maybe the ETFs where they have positions as well. What is your recommendation?
See, like we cover more on equities, but from a HSL perspective, our overall house, had turned a bit cautious on, gold and silver, especially towards the end of the year and early part of Jan, because the move was really, too fast. Even though we were expecting precious metals to do well at the start of the calendar year, first 20 days of, this calendar year itself was sort of return which we had not expected. So we had turned cautious, on these precious metals. And I think it's more like a speculative unwinding, which is probably leading it to sort of, overreaction even on the downside, just the way we overreacted on the upside. So I think from a medium or long-term perspective, one should not be changing their asset allocation significantly. We have been saying that 10 to 15% exposure to precious metals in your multi-cap portfolio, one should continue, and ideally one should have rebalanced at a very sharp increase, which we had seen, gold to Nifty or, silver to Nifty sort of ratios were really off chart. And I think that is correcting now.
Okay.
Okay, Varun, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon, giving us a view on the markets as well as even in terms of gold and silver, 10 to 15%. Keep your asset allocation for the long term. But on that note, we're going to slip into a very short break. Up next, we will connect with the management of Sun Pharma to decode their Q3 numbers. Stay tuned in for that conversation.